Greetings and welcome to Let's Play Husky Hunter 5. The Revenge. No. I love it. Anyways, considering I am not doing Let's Plays at the moment, or not regularly, I decided to make at least one vlog per week so people don't think I died or something. I may talk about stuff that people ask me about. I actually got a suggestion on what to talk about. Yes, I'm quite happy. Talking about stuff that happened in my life, there's not that much going on, at least not stuff I want to talk about on camera. I still have the posters here next to me. I realized something. You need nails in order to hang up posters and frames and stuff like that, and I don't have nails, so yeah, I have to see where I can get nails sooner or later to actually hang up the posters. Woohoo! I am such a retard. Anyways, before I start talking about stuff about my last video, I am sorry to the person I called a jerk for calling my capital city a graffiti-covered dump. I said in the video that it sounded off rude, and it did sound off rude for me at least. I don't know how you would call it if somebody calls your capital city a graffiti-covered dump. But it was not okay to call you a jerk, so I'm sorry about that. Other than that, yeah. What have I been doing this week? Mostly playing World of Warcraft again. I don't know what is up with this game, and that I always come back to it. I was really looking forward to it. They patched it. 5.4 came out, and I'm looking forward to next week, when they open up the first wing of the looking for weight part. The thing is, I am not really playing anymore with people, which is kind of sad. Most people I know have either quit the game or are playing on total different servers, or focusing mostly on PvP and aren't really interested in PvE. About PvP, I kinda like PvP sometimes, and I really enjoyed it at the beginning of MOP, but they changed so much and they made it so retarded. I think that's my main problem with Blizzard. They kinda treat the PvP fraction as a red-headed stepchild or something like that. In the beginning, you couldn't get a weapon from Honor, and then you had to PvE in order to get a weapon, and so on and so forth, and stuff happens. I don't know. I don't like it. They should just separate both things, and they kind of want people to ease into they do the exact opposite. They kind of want, with your PvP armor, you should be able to get into PvE, but that's not happening. Quite a lot of people haven't understood yet how the item budget works, and they are like, oh, you're wearing PvP armor, you're not getting into my raid. Even though the PvP related stuff costs nothing. But still, the equipment is worse. It is kind of strange. I don't know why. They should just say, okay, if you want to PvP, PvP, if you want to PvE, PvE. And I mean, you can do both. It's not that hard. You have to do your looking for weight in order to gear up there, and you have to PvP in order to gear up there. You usually just do... If you do 1 or 2 hardcore weekends, you can get full PvP gear with Honor and the other stuff you get over several weeks, so it doesn't really matter. And you can wait during the week. I don't know. But that's Blizzard. Like I said, I don't know what's bringing me back to this game every time there's a patch. I do enjoy it for quite some time. I equipped now my Druid, one of my few Alliance chars that are left. And I'm going Restoration. If you see Elanarae from the realm Shattered, Europe, of course, I'm playing on German servers, then say hi, that's me. If you see Elanarae from Blackhand, being a Frost Death Knight, you say hi, that's me. Have I ever... I can't remember. I was thinking today about making screenshots of my chars and showing... Did I ever show off all my chars? I can't remember. Somebody will answer this to me, I hope. I have several chars. I kind of like twinking. I hate leveling, if this makes any sort of sense. I hate leveling in World of Warcraft because I've done it so many times. I went once through my characters and I have 19 characters over level 60. That is quite a lot. I think there are like 3 or 4 Death Knights in there, so you can scrap these. I had a lot of server transfers and somebody wanted to start over at this server, and me and my best friend, we wanted to try out an RP server, so I transferred some characters there. I don't want to know how much cash or I gave Blizzard just for server transfers. I could buy a new car with this. It's horrible. Anyways, yeah, World of Warcraft. Like I said, I don't know what it is that brings me back every time to World of Warcraft. I don't have this feeling for other MMOs that I played. I sometimes go back to EverQuest, especially now that it's free to play, but that's usually a week or two. A week or two where I have 2 EverQuest accounts. Well, it is free to play, like I said. And there was some... Sadly, I missed that. Or I didn't miss it, I didn't take advantage of it. There was one free weekend before it became free to play. And that was when I recorded my EverQuest memory lane video. And you could create every class and race that you want. So I made I think I showed her, an Ixar Shaman. And on my main account, an Ixar Shadow Knight. And I was multi-boxing them. She was healing and debuffing the enemies, and he was getting buffed and killing enemies. It was quite fun. Then they went free to play, and in this change you had to unlock races and classes with money. One time, of course. So if I wanted to play a Dark Elf Necromancer, I first had to unlock the Dark Elves, and then I had to unlock the Necromancers. I don't like this. It's not pay to win per se, but you only... I think the base classes are available. You can play a Wizard, you can play a warrior, you can play a cleric, and I think you can play a rogue. That's all. Races, I think only the humanoids are available. Barbarians, humans, erudites, and half-elves. I'm not 100% sure about it. You can, of course, and that's what kind of bothered me, you can, of course, play characters that you had before. So I can still play my Dark Elf Necromancer Myxi Sirenleaf on the Sariren, or however she's called. What was the god of pestilence? Bertoxolus or something like that. On this server, but I can't create a new one, sadly. Anyways. So sometimes I play EverQuest for 1 or 2 weeks, but never go back. I will never go back to Star Wars. Holy hell, I God, this game was so bad. Oh god. Oh boy. I just imagine if they gave me $200 million, what I would have done with that. At least getting a better engine that actually supports more than 2 people on screen. That would actually help. I don't know. This game was... Oh god. No. It just wasn't my game. And it dragged on so horribly long. I think they... I wouldn't say it was an argument, but a hefty discussion I had with Star's Helmet. He kinda liked the game. Well, he's a RP story fan, so that's okay. And my suggestion was, if I create a character, give me an option, always choose either the light or the dark answers. Because in this game, it doesn't make sense to play a grey character. At least it didn't make sense when the game was released. When the game was released, you got special armor, but only if you went full Jedi or full Sith, or not Jedi, but full good and full evil. You could play an evil Jedi. I have no idea how this works out, especially since you actually see the guy getting deteriorated in his face. And I don't know, if somebody comes up to me looking like, I don't know, Freddy Krueger and wants something from me, I would tell him, no, you don't look like a nice guy. No, you don't get access to the orphans. No, you will eat them. But the dialogues, they just dragged out. If the main quests were with dialogues and fully voiced, okay, but I don't need a fully voiced quest line where some random schmuck tells me to collect 5 bear asses. I don't know, I don't need that. What other MMOs did I play? I played Lord of the Rings. It was nice. But I don't know. The beginning was really interesting, but then it started to drag on. And that's the worst part, it started to drag on in a really boring area. I don't know what this area was called. It was desert-like or desert-ish. And it wasn't nice to look at. There weren't that many quests. It had long traveling times. And it really took a long time to level. In the beginning, you were like we played humans. You were around, was it Bre? Bre or Brill? Bre. Brill was in World of Warcraft. It was around Bre. There was a lot of nice landscape, farms, animals, lots of quests, a few cities, a village here, a village there. It looked really nice, but you leveled quite okay-ish through there. But then they had the steps, and it dragged on, and me and my best friend, we immediately lose interest in this game. Like, bam, no, back to World of Warcraft. ALOT was another game I played, but this game was kind of strange. I don't know. It really turned into pay to win really fast, and you leveled like it was really dragging on. I mean, sure, if they would give me the option, I think EverQuest offers this, to pay $13 per month and get full access to everything except some special armor or the good stuff. I can understand that they still want to sell this, but at least a nice, decent leveling speed. I would do that. But other than that, no. No. Wounds of Magic was something I played for like 1 week. Didn't really catch on. Well, I played it on my old laptop. It didn't really play that well. What else to play? Guild Wars, of course. Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. I don't know, it wasn't Guild Wars 2 exactly. Like, bam! No interest anymore. From one day to the other. We played a little bit of PvP. It wasn't really interesting. And in PvPE it was just like, yeah, we never went into a dungeon. I looked some videos on YouTube on this, and it doesn't really look like something I would like to do all day. I kinda like the Holy Trinity thing. And Guild Wars 1 was just something I never even bothered to max out my level there. I played a Mesmer. It was okay, but PvP was kind of strange. Perhaps I never understood the mechanics behind it. I sometimes had the feeling that people are like bashing on me and there was no damage coming over. And suddenly I was dead. Suddenly, I think you have like 5 procs on you and then you're dead or something. I don't know, it was kind of strange. EverQuest 2 I checked out for quite some time. It was interesting, but I played the free-to-play version and no. I can't even put my finger on it why it is so bad. It just feels bad. Not to mention EverQuest 2 is something people in World of Warcraft, people want World of Warcraft to become. Really, really complex, with lots of skill trees and points to distribute, and no, don't do that. If I am a gamer, even though I hate the term. I know my stuff. I know where to find information. I know where to look for guides. And even I feel really overwhelmed going into EverQuest 2. You have like 500 points to distribute over 7 different trees that all do something totally different. And I don't know, it's like, no, it just feels wrong. Lots of people are complaining about World of Warcraft that you don't have talent points anymore. In the beginning there were talent trees and you had to distribute a point every level. And people are missing this feeling of spending 1 talent point every level. I just don't see this. I don't feel more powerful when I got a level and I could distribute a point in 1% more crit. Yes, 1% more crit on my abilities. I'm so more powerful. Oh, that's really fun. I don't see this. I am totally neutral to these talent trees. The old ones gave you a fake feeling of choice, because in the end you had your optimized builds. You had like 4 points to distribute for yourself, and even those points are like either in talent A or talent B. There aren't that unique snowflake builds even in the first times, and if it was a unique snowflake build, it was bad. Simple as that. You either knew what your class needed, and when you skilled like that, it kinda looked like the optimal builds. There was no point that, sure, people are like, oh, I'm missing playing an elemental mage where you put like points in every 3 skill trees. I don't know. I don't see the difference in this. I never played a mage, for example. Not really. I had one in Classic at max level. But a lot of people in my raid group at that level, and I was the raid leader, always complained like, oh, it sucks to play a mage in MC and BWL, Blackwing Lair, because so many mobs are immune to fire. And I'm like, why don't you reskill to Frost? Oh, I don't like playing Frost. What is the difference in Classic of clicking on the fireball symbol and a red ball appears out of your hand, flies to the enemy, and does minimal damage, if it does damage at all, or you click on a button and you shoot a blue ball at the enemies and you do damage? Can somebody tell me the difference, please? I don't know. Even nowadays, I'm sure there's like some different mechanics behind it. Of course, but I never understood people who are like, oh, I don't plan to play this. I either take the maximum out of my chars, or I don't. But then I don't have to play at all. At least not in a competitive setting or with other people. I mean, if you're like me now and you're only doing LFR, in LFR you can jerk off while playing. No, I haven't tried it out yet. I'm usually one of these few people who take LFR seriously, and I try to do my best. I try to do my best in LFR. I want this group to succeed. I do my best at healing. I do my best at damage dealing. I will never tank in LFR. I'm not suicidal. And I try my best. Even though I'm not raiding normal, I'm not raiding heroic, I check out guides and stuff like that because I kind of want to get the best out of my class. So if I had to choose between playing fire, which I think does more damage now, but let's say it is like in Classic, or Frost, I will of course play Frost. Why shouldn't I play Frost? I don't know. I don't understand these people. Anyways, I talked way too much about MMOs. I didn't even want to talk about them. I got a suggestion from one of the people who gave me music files to talk a little bit about retro cartoons or series I watched as a kid. And I really like this idea. I think people kind of want me to talk more about happy and funny stuff instead of talking about religion or something, because this always goes off well. What series did I watch as a kid? I did mention Saber Rider, and I was quite amazed that he mentioned that Saber Rider wasn't that big in America. I always thought that these things are from America. Then I realized that Saber Rider was kind of like an anime, and I think it even came from Japan. So it was kind of my first anime. But I really enjoyed the series, even though it was really simple. I mean, you usually had a little bit of build-up, then Wemward appeared and kicked some ass, and that's it. What else? The Smurfs, of course. I think if you haven't watched the Smurfs as a kid, you kinda missed something. I don't know if something like the Smurfs would work in today's society. I don't know. There was no purpose behind them more. That's what I realized with most cartoons nowadays, that they always try to have some sort of purpose. Always the power of friendship in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't know. It's horrible. These are mostly kids. They don't care about that stuff. Smurfs. I really enjoyed watching the Smurfs, of course. A really, really great show. I think this one was called different in the US. David der Klabautermann. I think it's David the Gnome or something like this. A little guy with a red pointy hat, and he talked with animals, I think, and stuff like that. It was quite fun to watch. I think it's kinda what a lot of the series I watched as a kid were. They had this innocence behind them. Like I said, there was no purpose behind it. There was no agenda. They didn't try to teach you about friendship or stuff like that. They didn't enforce the teaching of friendship. Like, oh, we are doing this now because we are friends. No, they did it because it was good. And they turned out to be friends. There is a subtle difference. Not difference. But perhaps it's made me the person I am today, always trying to help everyone, everything as much as I can. What other cartoons? There's so many. I'm not really looking for some. I just want to give them out in a certain order. I of course watched the Turtles, and I do remember the first time I watched the Turtles. I was at my granny's house, and my uncle was still living with her, and I was watching Ulysses 2000, this Odyssey story in space. Yeah, there was a cartoon about Odysseus in space, and he was fighting, he was trying to find a way back home, kind of like the Greek story. And my uncle was watching this, and he said, this is way too dark, color-wise. This isn't bright, this isn't fun, let's look for something else. And he switched channels, and I was like, I wanted to watch this. And then he found the Turtles, and he said, come on, you watch this now. And he left the room, and this was the first time I watched the Turtles. I don't know what episode it was, of course, I just know that it was the Turtles. And from then on, I was a really huge Turtles fan. Every time my other grandmother asked me what I want for food, I said I want pizza, because the Turtles are eating pizza. Maybe a reason why I'm overweight. But, oh well, it was worth it. They tried something similar with the Sonic cartoon, where he was always eating chili tacos or something like that, and that didn't. No, nobody knows what chili tacos are. You can't just get them somewhere. I don't know. It was a total no-brainer. I'm probably missing quite a lot of older series that I watched. I remember a series like The Little Princess Sarah. That was a kind of dark cartoon. I may mixing up the name. The cartoon was about a girl that got into some sort of care center. It was playing not medieval times. It wasn't modern times. It was with horse carts and stuff like that. And I think her parents either disappeared or died while on a trip, and then she had to work there as a maid in the house she was in. I remember the girl. I see her image before me. I think she had long black hair and was always looking sad. Okay, you do look kind of sad when your parents died and you had to work as a maid. I don't even know if there was a purpose behind it, or if there was a real ending. Oh, and I get messages here. If there was a real ending behind this. But yeah, it was a quite interesting cartoon. And when I think about this cartoon, I of course think about... Let me check the person who sends me messages. Be right back. My co-worker, the one I looked after the cats. Something with fog. Gilneas fog? Going around the world in 80 days. The cartoon. And the main actor, this fog guy, he was a lion, I think. A humanoid lion. And then he had his... I think it was it looked like a beaver or something, I don't know. And then they found a princess that was a cat. And they were always followed by some guy who had to sabotage the trip. And I remember the ending. This one actually had an ending. They arrived, but too late. And I think they said in his club that they will arrive at 12 p.m. after 12 p.m. Noon. Noon is p.m.? Yes, I think so. They arrive at 12 noon after 80 days when he circled once around the world. And he arrived at, I think, it was 1 p.m. I don't know when he arrived. And he was all bummed and bad. Then the princess was always trying to comfort him. And then he realized, considering he went around the world one time, he only took 69 days. And then he went to his club and everyone, hey, he made it. And it was quite a fun show. Quite a fun show. What other stuff? Brave Star, of course. What was the enemy called? Tex-Hex? It was kind of like He-Man. It was just a show you watched without a real... It was just awesome watching some Native American guy beating up evil people. Having special powers. Wasn't there a third show that was kind of similar to that? I don't know. The real Ghostbusters, Egan, Winston, Egan Spengler was what? I don't know. Remember the names. With Slimer, at least the 4 original Ghostbusters, the one they made actual movies out of that. And there were some other Ghostbusters from, I think, the same company that actually made the He-Man cartoons. They were just called Ghostbusters. And it were 2 dudes, one with a blonde wig. The other had, I think it was like a flying helmet on. And they had a huge gorilla with an adventurer like Indiana Jones hat. I don't think the gorilla could talk. And they had a car with a ghost in front of it. A really, really old car. And I think the ghost even spoke to them. And they were fighting some. It kind of looked like I think it was supposed to be a specter or something. Kind of looked like a robot. And they had some other. They were just called Ghostbusters. I think that's the main reason why the other cartoon was called The Real Ghostbusters. Could be it. I don't know. Of course, I watched the old Batman series, the Real series with Adam West. Oh god, it was just cheesy. It was so cheesy, but good. Another cartoon that comes to mind is The Adventures of Robin Hood. I think it was an anime too, and they were all kids. Around 12, 14, something like that. Oh god, I had a crush on Maid Marian in this one. I was young. I had a crush on a cartoon figure. Oh god, I'm pathetic. It was again a really nice show. It wasn't all just happy, joy. It did have some bad moments. And talking about happy, joy, I now have to talk about all the Nickelodeon cartoons I watched later. I think that they aren't that retro. I think I watched Nickelodeon when I was 14 or something. That when it came over to Germany. Can't remember. What else did I watch? What else did I love to watch? Nothing really comes to mind anymore. Like I said, Brave Star, He-Man of course, Saber Rider, Robin Hood. Well, yeah, of course the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, Bugs Bunny and stuff, and the Tiny Toons. Oh god, I loved the Tiny Toons. Nowadays I think their random jokes would piss me off to no end. But I really enjoyed the Tiny Toons. I think I should have watched some 80 cartoon intro compilation videos before that. There was, of course, Galaxy Rangers, though I have to admit I don't remember that much from them. I'm fairly certain I watched them, but not a lot. Captain Future, just a little bit. I don't remember watching a lot of Captain Future. I think it came at a time where I was still asleep or something like that. It wasn't really that big. There were some other random... Oh, Lady Oscar. Did I mention Lady Oscar? Lady Oscar was also a cartoon I enjoyed watching. I don't even know why. I guess because it was anime. I think I was heavily influenced by these, and I really liked the animation style. If you remember Lady Oscar, if you don't remember Lady Oscar, it was during one of the many French revolutions, and it was Lady Oscar going up in rank. I think she was a pretty important person. I'm of course not sure if this was actually related to any real person. I think she got tuberculosis in the middle of, or during the end, which is a pretty hefty topic. I mean, she was always coughing up blood. That's usually not good. If you cough off blood, you're usually done for. There was another anime. I know in Germany it was called Königin der 1000 Jahre. Queen of the Millennium? The Millennium Queen? I don't know. That one was mostly weird, I think. And I think it was one of those cartoons I haven't really watched episode to episode. I think I missed like a few episodes in between. And then I if you miss a few episodes in between, you just lose track of it. How could I forgot this? Scooby-Doo! Of course I watched Scooby-Doo and the 5 billion spin-offs of Scooby-Doo. I hate Scrappy-Doo. I hate this little dog from the bowels of my heart. Sorry. There were so many spin-offs with Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo when they were young. Scooby-Doo, something like that. I prefer the original basics ones without Scrappy-Doo. There was actually a whole spin-off series, I think the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, which was totally weird. It was Scooby-Doo, Daphne, Shaggy, I think, Scrappy-Doo, and some other kid. And this other kid in Scrappy-Doo, they always did totally stupid stuff. There was no rhyme or reason to that, what they did. And I don't like that. I like that in Tiny Toons, because that the whole premise is that they are stupid. Or random. Or, another cartoon, Animaniacs. I don't mind this in Animaniacs. I don't mind it in Tiny Toons, Looney Tunes. It was okay. But Scooby-Doo was usually sort of realistic. They just didn't pull out a boat out of the ass and now we have a boat or something like that. But this spin-off kinda had that, and I don't like that. I don't know if I want to just focus on cartoons. I could also mention Power Rangers, of course. There was another series, kind of like Power Rangers. Something about they were fighting evil in a network or something in the computer. It was really bad. It was really bad. Let's open up a whole new can of worms. First, by mentioning Cartoon Network. I love Cow and Chicken. It was a really nice show. They translated it to German, Muku and Chiki, and they gave them really bad voices, and I hated that show. Johnny Bravo, another nice, fun show. I don't think you could do a show like this nowadays. It was kind of sexist. But yeah. Dexter's Laboratory. And I remember when I was visiting my ex-girlfriend in Scotland, they had Samurai Jack on their cartoons. It was another really, really good show. We kind of watched this together. Of course, other old cartoons. I mentioned one and others spring to mind. The Amazing Spider-Man, X-Men, Hulk. There was a Hulk, or? I'm fairly certain there was a Hulk cartoon somewhere in between. Was there an old Batman cartoon? I'm not talking about Batman the Animated Series. Of course I watched that. But was there something before that? Kind of like around Amazing Spider-Man? I can't remember. Well, that was the Amazing Spider-Man. I think there was something with Thor. Really, really bad cartoon. I'm most likely missing out so many cartoons I just loved to watch. But let's open up the other can of worms. Nickelodeon. Like I said, Nickelodeon, it came pretty late to Germany. I think, I'm fairly certain I was like 12, 14 or 16, something around those lines. I was watching this in the old room of my brother where I moved after he moved out. Parents had a house. I was living upstairs in the first upper floor, and my brother was in the cellar. And then he moved out, and we switched rooms. And I'm pretty sure I only watched this when I was already living in his room. Monsters. Of course, I kind of like this show. It was kind of dark, but still silly. I don't know. Rugrats? Another just fun show, just fun to watch. I had a really strange taste, even as a teenager. Yeah, of course, I could mention other animes like Sailor Moon. Of course, I watched Sailor Moon. Warm-blooded heterosexual watched Sailor Moon. Sailor Mercury. Anyways, on Nickelodeon, Ren and Stimpy was something I watched quite a lot. Clarissa was really, really nice. Not the show too, but Melissa Joan Hart. Oops. What else? There was another show I really, really enjoyed watching on Nickelodeon. I think it was something about Shelley Holmes. The Adventures of Miss Holmes. I think she was supposed his niece or something like that, or she was just a huge fan. I don't know. At least it was a female, a girl Sherlock Holmes. I think she was a teenager or something in that show. And she didn't really solve huge mysteries, but it was quite fun to watch. No, I don't remember that many Nickelodeon shows that I watched, which is quite strange. I did watch quite a lot of Nickelodeon. I did mention Ren and Stimpy, Monsters, Rugrats. I think the main problem with Nickelodeon, at least in Germany, was they were always showing the same stuff. I think you could watch 5 episodes of Rugrats per day. This was crazy. No, I can't remember any more Nickelodeon cartoons. Strange. Nature's calling. And like I always say, when nature calls, you answer. And after that, I think I will go into the sitcom part of my childhood. Be right back. And I'm back. The good thing with having a tablet is you can actually surf the internet while answering nature's call. I totally forgot about Rocko's Modern Life. It was kind of like Ren and Stimpy, one of these really, really weird cartoons. I'm not saying it was bad, but I don't know if I would like it nowadays. And I just saw that Nickelodeon Germany was 95 to 98, which means I was 12 or 15. Okay. Hey Arnold. I think I forgot about that one because I didn't really watch it. I don't know. I didn't know what they wanted to do with the premise that he had a football-shaped head. It's kind of strange to have like this one character in a cartoon with a really, really weird deformity. I don't know if they wanted to make a statement like no matter how somebody looks, he's still a nice guy or something like that. I really don't know. It's kind of the same with Family Guy. Stewie. Why does he have such a strange looking head? Oh, I don't know. But there's nothing else. Kaplam. Kaplam doesn't tell me anything. The Angry Beavers. Ah, the Bieber-Brüder. Didn't really watch this. This was too stupid. Kaplam. No. I don't think I ever watched this. Anyways, I don't want to spoil myself too much. Well, not spoil, but I don't want to just go over a list and say, oh, I watched this. I kind of want to remember these things. But there was a lot more that I watched on Nickelodeon. Sitcoms. Sitcoms were another huge part in my younger life. I'm fairly certain. I think it was still in Grundschule, elementary school, when I started watching Married with Children. It was called in Germany Eine schrecklich nette Familie. An awfully nice family, if you translate it literally. I don't know why they made such strange translations. I guess verheiratet mit Kindern doesn't sound that good. It doesn't sound like... Yeah. It is a phrase you use in English, married with children. But in Germany, you don't say that. Oh, he is married with children. You don't say this in German. Well, the German part, of course. Anyways, I was watching this when I was relatively young, and I guess I didn't understand most of these jokes, at least when I was younger. I guess I just laughed when the other were laughing, or when the laugh wheel was running. So, yeah. I mentioned quite a lot of shows the last time when I was talking about the Bill Cosby show, and I didn't realize it that they were all black-skinned people in there, but didn't really bother me because, well, like I said, we're all human. We're the human race. There are no orcs or trolls here. Of course, the Bill Cosby show, Family Matters, which I think I also mentioned was called Alle unter einem Dach, Everyone Under a Roof. I guess I don't know why they translated it like that. I watched a lot of Roseanne, and I have to say, I think that this kind of influenced my view on America. I think when I was younger, I guess I thought this was how the average family in the US lives. Kind of like Roseanne. I don't know. It is not meant as an insult or something. I didn't know it better. Didn't know there were some people like Persian. So, anyways. Cheers was another sitcom I kinda like to watch. Even though there was no real purpose to it. There was no overarching story, really? Did they ever have more than one or two rooms in there? I can't remember. Home Improvement. In Germany called Hör mal, wer da hämmert. Listening to who's hammering. Or listen to who's hammering. I don't know why they made this translation. I guess Hausverbesserung doesn't sound like a comedy. I really loved Tool Time. Home Improvement. I really, really loved this show. One thing that bothered me in a lot of sitcoms when they turned somewhat dark, when they introduced in a usually really, really funny and family friendly sitcom, they suddenly introduced really, really dark topics. I remember in Roseanne, where the boyfriend of her sister beat her sister up regularly, and Dan was infuriated, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to kill this guy." This is really, really dark matter. I mean, yes, you can do this somehow, but I don't know. It didn't really fit, and I'm not going to touch the last season of Roseanne. This one never happened. It was horrible. God. Bill Cosby Show didn't had something really, really dark like that. Married with Children kinda got around this. That's the bad thing with me. I usually don't remember names of actors because I don't really care. But I read about this. The actress who was playing Peggy actually got pregnant, and they built this into the series, where she kind of like, hey, you can't hide this. You kind of have to implement that. But I think she had a miscarriage, but they didn't introduce this into the series. They kind of did it like everything was a dream of Al, and then they kind of introduced the seventh child, and I hated this kid. I was glad when he was gone. They didn't bring in really, really dark stuff into the series, and I kind of like it for that. Unlike, like I said, Roseanne, which turned really, really dark, especially at the end, or really, really stupid, especially at the end. Full House was another series I watched. Another series where I think nothing bad ever happened. I think the worst that was that DJ was having a crush on someone or something like that, but there was no real, I don't know, hate or something. King of Queens was another show I really, really liked. But they kind of introduced... I didn't like the ending. The ending was utterly stupid. And they also introduced, I think, the main actress had a miscarriage too. And they introduced this into the show too. Like, oh yeah, too bad she doesn't have a child anymore. And it was really, really badly handled. It was like this one episode, she was pregnant and she said, oh yeah, I had a miscarriage, and it never got mentioned again. I don't know, they could have done it like Married with Children. I don't know. I guess it's really hard to implement that because you kind of write your script around that. Not to mention, of course, it's horrible for the woman who has to endure something like that. I can't relate to that too much because I will never have children. Well, bear children, let's say it this way. What else did I watch? Everybody Loves Raymond. I think that's even how it's called in English. Scrubs, but it was all later. I think everyone knows Scrubs by now. I don't have to. This is not retro. This is not. Oh, I remember this. Now that you mention it, Scrubs, so awesome. I'm fairly certain I watched more sitcoms. There were some weird ones I watched. Frasier, I think it was called. But they were usually played really, really late at night. Seinfeld. I kind of liked this show, even though it was sometimes really, really strange. I think it was called Crazy About You with Helen Hunt. God, that woman was Well, she was in this show. She aged pretty badly. It was another one of these shows, I think. I don't know how American sitcoms are produced. I sometimes have the feeling they are like, okay, here $100, make me 20 episodes, and then we will see how we if we invest more money in that, because they are usually like this one room, only this one room where stuff happens. And I think it was the same kind of like in Crazy About You. You only had their apartment, and come to think of it, I can't tell you if there are any German sitcoms. At least I haven't watched any. I know there are some German soaps that are running now for 50 years or something, I don't know. Gute Zeiten, schlechte Zeiten. Good times, bad times. I don't know how you can watch something like that, something that will never end, which has so many plot points that get dropped and pop up, and I was never a fan of this. They usually, when I watch them, they usually have more locations. That is something I have to mention. They usually have more locations. My mother loved to watch The Witch and the Beautiful. I don't know. I think this has like 2,000 episodes now or more. I don't even want to watch. Let me check this out. What, The Bold and the Beautiful? I don't know. Safari, Bold and Beautiful. Reich und Schön. The Bold and the Beautiful. Wikipedia. Come on. Load it. 27 seasons, 6,657 episodes. What the flying fuck? How long did this? From 1987. I was fucking 4 years old when this started. And it's still running, according to this wiki at least. Holy shit. Then again, I have to say, they are now running for 30 years and have only 6,657 episodes. I am doing this Let's Play stuff now for 4 years, and I have I'm soon reaching 2,000 episodes. Then again, I don't have a script and I just scream into a microphone all the time while playing video games. But at least I hope I'm a little bit more entertaining to watch. Also, I don't think there were many more. The Cosby Show, Roseanne, Married with Children, that were kind of the big ones. Later on, I think King of Queens came later. Wait. I remember another sitcom. I just don't know how it's called in English. Herzbube mit zwei Damen. Herzbube mit zwei Damen. Three's Company. This one was about flat sharing of 2 women and 1 man. And the man was only allowed to share the room with those 2 women because the landlord thought he was gay, and he always had to act like he was gay when the landlord was around. I kind of enjoyed watching these. Oh god, there was another. Oh, Golden Girls. For some reason, I really enjoyed watching Golden Girls. What is it, a sitcom? Yeah, this kind of sitcom. Oh gosh, so much remembered. Oh, I love the show. Matlock. It's not really a sitcom. It was a series. Oh. I really enjoy Matlock. I really enjoyed it. Quincy was another one of these shows that I really enjoyed watching. But now I'm kind of going to series territory. There weren't that many. I think Matlock, Quincy, Columbo, of course. I don't remember how the show was called. It was with Dick Van Dyke. He was a doctor and his son was a police officer. Dick Van Dyke? What did he play? Diagnose Mord. I'm pretty sure people are like totally excited that I sometimes bring in Diagnosis Murder. Oh, okay, that's a no-brainer. Oh god. Mord is their hobby. Oh god, no, they're coming back. Oh, all these hidden memories. Fuck. Mord is ihr hobby. Murder, She Wrote. Mit Angela Lansbury. Oh, how I enjoyed this fucking show. It was so bad. It was good again. But I think that were kind of the major series that I watched. There was another one, An Engel auf Erden, but I really didn't watch it. An Angel on Earth or something like that. I don't know. A-Team, yes, I watched it when it came, when I saw it. But it wasn't like, oh, I have to watch the A-Team now. Oh, A-Team. No. I don't know if somebody is a psychist or a psychiatrist or something like that, a shrink. I do admit I have a pretty strange taste in certain things. I don't know many 12-year-olds, or at that time 12-year-olds, that enjoyed watching Matlock. I highly doubt I couldn't talk with my classmates or something. Or Columbo, Quincy. I think I was 14 or 16 when I watched these, even though I'm pretty sure nobody else watched them. Or Murder, She Wrote. Were there some other shows? If there were, I can't remember them. We had quite a lot of American sitcoms in Germany. Mostly because our self-produced stuff usually sucked hard. Oh god, I remember all these German comedy shows. Oh, they were so bad. Horribly bad. I don't know, we Germans have a pretty certain taste in comedy that doesn't really bode well too much with other people and most, I guess, a lot of Germans. I mostly watched American stuff when I was younger. I have to admit this. And come to think of it, I can't really tell you about any real German stuff that I watched when I was younger. Most of the stuff I mentioned were really American sitcoms. Stuff like that. I can't even remember if there were some German stuff. Like I said, there were some German soaps, I remember. Unter uns. Or something like that. But I don't watch soaps. I have my own life to live. I don't need more drama or something in there. I guess I always escaped to this the sitcoms or the cartoons or trying to cheer up my life or something. I don't know. I don't want to go dark. I don't want to go sad on all of you. At the end, it goes totally dark or something like that. I just try to figure out why I had such a totally different taste. Even though I have to admit, when I was talking with my best friend about this, she was not Gilvin. She was also really into Matlock and Quincy. I'm not sure about the other stuff, but cartoon-wise, we also shared a lot of similarities. Oh god, there was this one show. Oh, another cartoon show. Der Fackler? Or something like. I think it was actually a bad word. Let me look for this. No, that's not it. It was with a blue. How are these things called? Squirrels. And civil. Oh god. I totally remember another cartoon. The raccoons. Oh god, I love the raccoons. Well, Civil Sneer, or however he was pronounced. The Raccoons was a really, really nice show. It was really, really fun to watch. I didn't figure out until recently that these animals, or these pink ones, are actually real animals. I thought they were just some imagination or something from the equator. No, the other show, I can't remember. The Fuglers? I don't know. It was about a blue squirrel. There was a pink, what's it called? Mouse. Oh no, god, I know I remember all the other stuff I watched. Oh god. It's like opening a door and stuff falls out. Concentrate. Blue squirrel, pink mouse, I think there were some other animals there, and there was this Quasimodo-like evil dude. He was wearing a red suit. And the animals were in a really, really small forest, and the evil dude had a huge fortress, and he was polluting the planet, and he wanted something from these forest animals, but he never got it. Another door I just opened. Captain Baloo und seine Crew. It is called totally different in English. Captain Baloo. Tailspin. I have no idea why they call it Tailspin or why they translated it to Captain Baloo and seine tollkühne Crew. Tailspin was another show watch. Of course, DuckTales. How did I forget DuckTales? God, sacrilege. DuckTales. There was another one, I think it was called Montana. I didn't really watch a lot of shows, a lot of episodes of it, but I really, really enjoyed it. It was an adventure-like show, like Indiana Jones, but the main protagonist was, I think, a tiger, or at least a cat, humanoid cat again. The other show I remembered when I mentioned the mouse was how were they called? With the chipmunks. Oh, of course, the chipmunks. Yeah, I also watched the chipmunks. Oh god, there are so many series I totally forgot about. bin auf Ganoven tot, noch soll ich uns lieben. I totally forgot the name. Fuck it. It was huge. It was with these two squirrels. No, it wasn't chipmunks. It was squirrels from Hanna-Barbera. A mouse, a female mouse, and a big mouse, Samson. Fuck it. I don't even know how to look for this. Small mouse, big mouse. I know there was a... Fuck! Eichhörnchen Cartoon. No. It wasn't Super RTL. Super... Darkwing Duck. It wasn't Darkwing Duck was I looking, but Darkwing Duck was another show I watched. Super RTL cartoons. List. Let's look. List of the Super RTL shows. Germany. Germany. Oh yes, Pete and Pete was another show I watched on Nickelodeon, by the way. 7 Tage, 7 Köpfe. That wasn't Super RTL? No, that was an RTL. Super RTL. Motor. It's not. I want cartoons. You dicks. Kinderprogramm. How was the show called? Fuck! I totally blanked. I remember the show. The one squirrel was dressed like Indiana Jones and the other was dressed like Magnum. Another show I watched, sort of. The other mouse was kind of like... had a kind of engineering suit, and the other one was there. He was dressed in a pilot thing, and he always had a little bee or something around him. God! A list of Togo. Lila Launebär. Oh. Super Toy Club. Wow, die Entdecker. No. Togolino. Oh. No. I'm pretty sure people are like screaming at me now. You idiot! It was that show! Hate you! Oh yes, Pinky and the Brain. Animaniacs. I did mention Animaniacs. German Super RTL cartoons. Let me pause the video and look for this. This makes me crazy. Be right back. Chip and Dale. Chip and Chap in Germany. I don't know why they translated Dale to Chap, but Chip and Dale. I was sending it to my best friend I just mentioned. I was like, you have to help me. What is the show called with the 2 squirrels and the 2 mice who had adventures? And then Chip and Chap. Oh God, yes, that was an awesome show. And like I said, Darkwing Duck was also shown there. DuckTales. DuckTales was usually pretty good. I only enjoyed mostly the adventure-like episodes. I didn't really like the non-adventure types. Now I really want to watch this huge special with the City of Gold. I think I will check for this on YouTube. I will watch this now. Gargoyles, another show on Super RTL I really enjoyed watching. I did mention Batman the Animated Series. If you haven't watched Batman the Animated Series, then whoa, I feel pity for you. I'm fairly certain I'm missing quite a lot of stuff. Like I said, I open one door and 5 billion things pour out. I totally forgot about Chipmunks. I loved watching the Chipmunks. I can't even say why. What was the purpose of this fucking show? There was no purpose. I think that's what I really enjoyed about these shows. There was no real purpose. There was no overarching storyline. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they had to conquer or save the world or something like that. It was just mindless fun without stupid shit. Anyways, I'm not talking since 1.5 hours about MMOs and retro cartoons. I really have strange vlogs. I think I should slowly start about making a script or something. If you want me to talk about something else, let me know. I think something I may mention are old games that I played that I haven't let's played yet, though there aren't that many. But yeah, I can mention them, of course. I don't know what else. Like I said, if you want me to talk about something, let me know. And yeah, that's kind of it. I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And we will see each other soon. So take care and goodbye.